He thought he could control everything, the crowd, the dog, and even the law. But the stunt with the guard turned into humiliation in front of hundreds. Applause, disgrace, and handcuffs, it all happened faster than he could realize what went wrong. Want to know how it all went down? Let's begin. London was buzzing that afternoon. Buckingham Palace stood tall and proud, its gates surrounded by crowds of tourists snapping photos and eagerly waiting to catch a glimpse of the famous royal guards. The air was electric with excitement. But for 24-year-old Nathan, the scene was about as thrilling as watching paint dry. Nathan wasn't your average tourist. Son of wealthy parents and used to getting his way, he had a knack for turning even the most mundane situations into his personal playground. With his towering German Shepherd Rex at his side, Nathan scanned the palace grounds for something, anything to break the monotony. "Man, this is boring," Nathan muttered, nudging his friend Jake, who had reluctantly come along. "How do these people find this entertaining?" Jake, always the more cautious of the two, sighed. "It's not about entertainment, dude. It's about tradition. Just enjoy the moment." But Nathan wasn't one for traditions. His gaze landed on a royal guard standing motionless by the gates, dressed in the iconic red coat and towering bearskin hat. An idea sparked. "Hey, Jake," Nathan said, a mischievous grin creeping across his face. "What do you think would happen if Rex had a little fun with that guy?" Jake froze, his face twisting into disbelief. "Nate, no. Seriously, don't even think about it. Those guys don't mess around, and you're not exactly in Kansas anymore." But Nathan was already tuning him out. "Relax, it's just a joke. Look at him. He's practically a mannequin. Rex will have him moving in no time." Jake shook his head. "I'm telling you, this is a bad idea." Nathan smirked, crouching down next to Rex. "Oh, come on, buddy," he whispered to the dog, ruffling his ears. "Let's show these people what real entertainment looks like." Rex, ever loyal and full of energy, perked up immediately. His ears stood tall, and his sharp eyes locked onto the guard. The crowd around them began to take notice, a few tourists glancing over as Nathan unleashed Rex and pointed toward the guard. "Go get him, Rex. Show him who's boss," Nathan called out, his voice brimming with confidence. The massive dog darted forward, his paws thundering against the pavement. Gasps rippled through the crowd as Rex charged toward the guard, barking loudly. Phones were whipped out, cameras flashing. All eyes were now on Nathan's impromptu show. The guard, however, remained a picture of discipline. His face didn't flinch, his posture unyielding. It was like he didn't even see the 80-pound ball of fur barreling toward him. "See? He's not even human," Nathan laughed, throwing his arms up like he was conducting the whole scene. But Rex wasn't done. Sensing the energy of the crowd, he took another step closer, growling low and deep. His powerful frame tensed, his tail stiff as a rod. The tension in the air was palpable, and even Jake could feel his stomach tighten. "Nate," Jake hissed, his voice barely above a whisper, "pull him back, now." Before Nathan could react, the guard broke his silence. "Stand down." His command was sharp, cutting through the noise like a knife. It was the kind of voice that demanded obedience, and Rex, trained to respond to authority, froze in place. The crowd collectively held their breath. Nathan, however, was too caught up in his own ego to back down. "Oh, come on," he scoffed. "What's the big deal? It's just a joke, people." At that moment, two uniformed security officers appeared, moving quickly but calmly. One of them approached Rex with a steady hand, holding a small treat. The dog hesitated, then turned his attention to the officer, his tail wagging slightly as the tension melted away. Within seconds, Rex was back on a leash, led away from the guard and toward the edge of the crowd. The other officer approached Nathan, his expression stern. "Sir, you've disrupted public order," he said firmly. "Step back and control yourself." Nathan threw up his hands, his voice rising. "What? Seriously? It was just a joke. Don't you people have a sense of humor?" The crowd was no longer on his side. Murmurs of disapproval rippled through the tourists, and one voice cut through the chatter. "Someone call the police. This guy deserves a lesson." Jake tugged at Nathan's sleeve. "Dude, just stop. You're making it worse." But Nathan wasn't ready to stop. Not yet. As the security officers tightened their circle around him, his smirk began to falter. The spotlight he craved so much was now burning him alive. And for the first time, he started to wonder if this little joke had gone too far. Moments later, sirens pierced the air. A police car pulled up and officers stepped out. Within minutes, Nathan found himself in handcuffs, the weight of his actions finally sinking in. The crowd cheered as he was led away, his face a mix of anger, shame, and disbelief. Jake's words rang in his ears. "Hope this teaches you something, man. You really messed up." For Nathan, the day ended not with laughter, but with a hard-earned lesson. Respect isn't optional, and arrogance always has a price. Of arrogance is more than just public humiliation.